Hello and welcome back to my channel, Thrifty Day. My name is Leah. I'm the creator behind Thrifty Day. Today's episode is a tutorial and a process video. We are going to be doing an age tape tutorial. It's very simple. And then I'm going to be using that age tape in my December 3rd layout for my December daily. First, let's start out with the supplies you will need. I'm going to set my December daily aside for now, as we will be using it later. The first thing you will need are some disposable rubber gloves. I promise you, you will need these. You do not want to get alcohol ink on your hands. You will need alcohol ink. I am using this caramel color by Tim Holtz. I always use Tim Holtz. I love Tim Holtz. You will also need cello tape, absolutely clear cello tape, not frosted. You can get it anywhere. I actually get mine in a 2-pack at the Dollar Tree. And you will also need wax paper, a generous amount. I'm running out, so I hope I have enough actually. I highly recommend using at least 3 layers of wax paper or parchment paper. And the reason for that is because that alcohol ink will absolutely leak through. If you just use one, it will get on your surface. So I highly recommend using at least 2 or 3 layers. This is a very simple tutorial. The first thing we are going to do is cut pieces of tape the length you would like and just put them right onto your wax paper. I usually do a full sheet of them. I actually already have some made, so I'm just going to do about 8 or 12 right now. You will use them all throughout your layouts. You can save this, just set it aside, put it with your supplies. That way you can pull from it whenever you need age tape. But make sure that tape, as you put it on, is as flat as possible. Try to avoid having any bubbles or wrinkles. That way the ink doesn't get underneath. If it's a little bit lifted, don't worry, it will still stick. I don't always do a perfect job, and it's still always absolutely fine. Once you have completed that step, you do want to put on your rubber gloves. This is where you are going to start adding the alcohol ink. And trust me when I say you do not want to get that on your hands or on your surfaces. If it does get on your surface, use a magic eraser. That'll take it right off. And this is as simple as it gets. You just add some directly onto the tape. I use one hand to hold the applicator and the other hand to sort of move the fluid around on top of the tape. I love this caramel color by Tim Holtz. You can use any color at all though. It does not have to be caramel. This is my personal preference. I do know you can use any of the other color inks since it's Christmas. If you want to use red and green, that would be really pretty too. The next step is optional, but I just add dots of ink also right to the tops, and it just makes it look a little less pretty, for lack of a better word. It looks just more used and aged. And honestly, friends, that is the entire tutorial. We are going to put the applicator lid right back on, and we are going to set our tape aside to dry. I would give it at least 30 minutes, but to be honest, I'm about to start my layout, and I only let it dry for about 10 minutes, and it was great. So let's get into the layout. I'm very excited. This is day 3 for me. So for me, all I did today was really film this YouTube. I also put together some ephemera packs that sold out very quickly in my Etsy shop. I was not expecting that, so thank you so much if you grabbed one. But while I was doing that, I did come across some really cute ephemera, like this vintage dog little children's book page. You all know I love dogs. So when I found that, I set it aside. I also found these little book pages, or they're not book pages, they're like note cards. They're very vintage. You could see they're very aged. They actually fell out of a greeting card, and I thought that was so sweet. Look at that beautiful aging from the envelope. So I set those aside. I'm going to grab one of those to use in the layout because I just think it'll be fun, especially because I just found it today. And nothing says aged tape like Tim Holtz images. And I love this image with all the sort of celebrating drunky people on the cover. So I thought maybe I would use some Tim Holtz. So I pulled all my Tim Holtz out. I'm grabbing all of my little things in case I need anything little. But for now, I'm just going to put the box aside. And I'm going to open up my journal right to the next page to see what we can start creating. I always try to keep my December dailies as authentic as possible, even if I'm not doing anything exciting. Like today, really all I did was put together ephemera kits and do this tutorial. But, you know, I want to remember what I actually did, not like a, projected idea of what I did. I want to kind of keep it real because that's what makes memory books really fun, in my opinion. So since I did find this little bit today, I thought I would just put it on there. I love dogs. I have 4 dogs in my home most times. We foster, and so dogs are a very big part of my life. So when I found this little vintage book page, I knew I needed to add it into my December daily. So since that vintage book page is pretty old and brittle, I am just using PVA glue to stick it down. I added way too much glue, you know me, over gluer, and I put it way too low because that book page isn't anywhere near as big as my actual page. Anyway, I had to pull it up. You'll see. I don't know what I was thinking. I realized, oh no, I don't really want it all the way down to the bottom. That's why I pulled out that little Christmas paper. Anyway, so I just pull it up, and then once it is on there nice and secure, I just kind of trim the edge. Do you see how it overhangs a little bit? So I grab my ruler because I don't like to cut, and I'm just going to trim it off. See how brittle it is? It was super easy. So now that I have my book page on there, I think it would be wise to add the other large piece of ephemera, which is that little note card with the tiny Christmas tree at the top. So I grab that out, and I'm just going to put the same PVA glue on it and add it right to the page so that I could do my journaling on there, or however this page sort of evolves, it will already be on there. As I watch that back, I realize I'm using my glue stick. I'm not using PVA glue, but whatever. It's late. I'm filming this late. So I'm just going to stick that right over the words so that I can add my own words, but the dogs remain visible because that's what matters. And I'm just going to use my ruler to trim that excess off. And I'm actually going to keep that excess because it's nice and aged. And I love using aged paper whenever I need a little bit of a journaling spot. So I keep that. I just set it aside, put it in my personal ephemera. And now I'm going to add some washi tape. This is a little bit thicker washi tape. And I'm just going to add it right down the center. Not only is it pretty, it will keep all my inside pages very secure. So now that I have a really solid vintage style base for this page, I'm going to start flipping through my Tim Holtz ephemera. For me, Tim Holtz just screams vintage style, and I think that would go really well with the aged tape. So I'm just going to pull out some of my favorite pieces. I know I really like the pictures. I think those would be really fun to add into some of that white space because the pictures are really fun and they're nice and festive. And they're all in black and white, which is kind of cool. So I think that would look neat with the aged tape. The only other little bit I kind of wanted to look for was, I know Tim Holtz usually has one of those paper doll silhouettes and there's like children with dogs. And so that might be really cute to add on here. I love including dogs. That was that snowman picture I considered putting on the cover originally, so that might be really cute to add in the corner. There is that child with the dog. How cute is that? And I love these silhouettes. I think they are just so cute. I love using them as tabs. I love using them as on tags. I love everything about them, but unfortunately, it just didn't work well with the page. I really tried, though. So I end up going with the snowman because I absolutely just think it's the cutest, and I could sort of put it off center and use that aged tape to adhere it to the page. So our aged tape is dry enough. As you can see, I just peel it up and I try to give you an up close view. It's so neat because it just looks so very vintagey. I just love it. It's such a simple tutorial. It's really fun. It's really easy. It's very usable. It's great for all kinds of journals, and it's really fun to use in your December daily. So I'm just going to use a couple pieces to stick this Tim Holtz piece down into my journal. I realized once I had stuck this down that I should have used my distress ink to go around that picture. Look at how cute that looks though. So I end up pulling it up here and adding some distress ink, but it's okay. Like that tape totally hangs. It's not too sticky, but it's still very, very sticky. It's like a wonderful happy medium. So I just sort of carefully pull it up here. I remove that tape and then I add my Tim Holtz distress ink just around the picture. I am using corduroy. And to me, that just added a really perfect little touch. And then I just add it right back onto the page. Then once I finish that step, I go back to the little child with the dog. I really tried to add that onto this page, but it just really didn't work. So that was a bummer, but I'll set it aside and I will use it in the future because I absolutely love it. You could probably hear my sweet senior dog, Coda. She is making all her old lady noises in the background. I really think she wants to be a part of this YouTube. She's driving me crazy. I don't know why she's making so many silly noises. So the next thing I'm going to do is go through all of my tiny things, and I'm going to pick a label to add to the top. I knew immediately I wanted to use this pink one, but I kept rifling through anyway, thinking I might actually choose something else. That pink one was just screaming to be put on this page. So I just go ahead and grab it and put some glue on the back. The whole reason I was adding this tag was so I could stamp it with the date, the 3 for December 3rd. And as I am putting on the glue here, I start to hesitate because I realized, oh my gosh, I should have stamped it first, because it's going to be really hard to stamp it once it's already glued to a very uneven page. So thank goodness that wax paper was right over to the side. Wax paper doesn't stick. So even though it was glued already on the back, I was able to just put it on that wax paper. I grabbed my number 3 stamp. I went ahead and stamped it, and then I was able to pull it right up. So win-win, hooray for the age tape tutorial. So now I have a 3 on there. I do go ahead and add a little bit more glue so that I could put that really pretty hot pink vintage tag right to the top with the number 3 on it. I always try to date all of my December daily pages, because that's the point of a December daily, to show what day you are on. So now that that little bit was done, I thought I really wanted to add something else to that white space. I really tried. I grabbed all my little decals. And just nothing was working, nothing at all. And so I quickly put all that away and went to my personal ephemera. It's so funny because even as I look at the layout now, I realize it looks fine. I should have just added my journaling, but I was really trying, y'all. I was really trying to add more to this page than was absolutely necessary. So I'm glad I finally gave up, because I'm really happy with the end result once I finally get there. I just took a lot of time going through a lot of silliness in my brain trying to add things that really didn't belong there, I guess. So I pull out my personal ephemera, and in there I found a scrap, a green and white striped fabric scrap. And I thought, oh, that's really simple. I am actually just going to pull that out. I'm going to cut a piece of it, and I'm going to staple it like a little tab right to the side. Easy peasy, just a nice little extra something. And I love when things stick all out of my journals everywhere. My last Christmas journal, you know that it looks like it's an explosion of fabrics and tabs and lace and anything else I could have that I throw into my journals. I love texture. I just think it's really fun. I think it tells a story. And I also just don't love throwing anything away. So I went ahead and added this really cute little piece of fabric, and it made me happy. And I just staple it on, you know me, easy peasy. So now that that little bit of fabric is going to be stapled on, when I had started this layout, I went ahead and took off the little clip from the day 2 page that was holding the cards to the page. So I go ahead and put those back on. It was just easier to work with that little clip out of the way. So I'm just going to add it back now. And if you were looking for day 2, I have a cute little reel and a TikTok. You can check that out on my other channels. If you are enjoying this video, please give it a like. I would absolutely appreciate that. It means so much to me when you like my videos and you comment. If you're new, subscribe, introduce yourself, say hi so that we can connect. And the last little fun bit I'm adding to this page are these little gold foil stars. You know I'm obsessed with them. I use them year round. They're absolutely my favorite, and I just scatter them all over the page, every color, haphazard. Why not? They add a little bit of color, a little bit of nostalgia, exactly what this page is all about. If you are filming your December daily process and posting them here on YouTube, tag me in your videos or let me know. I don't know if my algorithm just doesn't want to show me December dailies, but I feel like I'm not seeing very many. So if you are doing it, participating, have a channel, tag me or let me know. I will definitely watch your video. I love watching others create while I create. It's something that I really enjoy. So just let me know in the comments. I am going to give you a close-up view of my page. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the tutorial was useful. And I hope it was easy, because you know that's what I love. Easy peasy. That's the name of the game, as low maintenance as we can be. So thanks for watching. I hope everyone is having a really happy holidays, enjoying their December daily process. And I will catch you in the next video. Okay, talk to y'all later. Bye.